Welcome to the Indie Music Room, a conversation with independent artists about writing, recording, performing, and promoting their original music. And now here's your host, Heather Kelly.
Hey everybody, it's Heather, your host with the Indie Music Room, and we're already looking at December 2023. Now, for those of you that are just joining on this podcast, this is my 5th year doing this. Actually, podcast number 52 already. I'm very excited and blessed to still be doing this. So many people have been interested in the podcast. I want to give a big thank you to Bill Grady. He is the one who gives me the platform for DodgeRadio.com to be able to do this every month. And I also want to thank Kurt Kaufman with Junior's Motel Recording Studio, which is where I'm at, where I spent 10 years of my own music career at, for allowing me to use this space every month. Big announcement for 2023. Instead of doing one a month, I am going to take them on as needed basis because there were so many great artists that I couldn't get to as we were, in previous years, one per month. So keep on sending those submissions and I will make spots for you. Setting all that aside, no further ado, I would love to introduce you to our artist of the month for December 2023, and that is Iris Pope. Her name is Maeve, but we're going to go by her artist name, Iris Pope, all the way from Boston, Massachusetts. Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me, Heather. I'm so excited to be here and talk about my music.
I couldn't be more excited. I got your submission and I listened to every song and it is right up my alley. And I have pretty good taste. I will say that, but I love your music, your style. There's a reminiscence of it to me. There's, a little bit of Annie Lennox, but there's also, I almost thought like Enya, like the voicings, your voice, the sound of it a little bit, but it's amazing. Why don't you give everyone a bit about your background, where you're from, what you do, and how you got into music?
So I'm from Boston, which I'm going to be very controversial and say it's the greatest city on this earth. I am such a big Boston girly. I always have been, always will be. I actually just finished up university in Scotland, University of St. Andrews. Yeah, I was studying psychology and social anthropology. So much fun. And I've just kind of been doing music forever. I'm sure so many people say that, but I mean, my mom likes to say I came out of the womb screaming, which she likes to attribute to as singing, which is very generous of her. But yeah, I've been doing musical theater since I was 4 years old. I've probably done about 40 different shows.
How did you decide that? I mean, you were born, obviously with music in you, but what took you to that music, like I would say performing like Broadway style or musical style? What direction got you there?
It's so funny. The first day of summer camp, they were like, okay, 4-year-old Maeve, choose whatever you want to do. And I was like, musical theater? Sure. That sounds fun to me. And then I never looked back. I have a tendency to fall into things by accident. Yeah. So there you go. I've been a writer my entire life as well. Love writing poetry, love writing short stories, just a thing that I've always kind of been doing. And then everything kind of coalesced. I think for a lot of people, it kind of coalesced around the time of the pandemic. I mean, we're all indoors. We all have very little to keep us busy.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so, music was my way of keeping busy.
So I know your vocals are freaking amazing. Now, are you doing all the instrumentation in the background of these music, or tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, no, were I to be that talented, oh my gosh, I would never shut up about it ever in my life. No, we have a lot of wonderful, wonderful musicians on the record. Their last names are absolutely skipping my mind right now, but Nelson, Tony, Jeremy, Nate. Actually, it's so funny. Nate's also my producer. I'm wearing his band's t-shirt, Oceanic.
Oh,
so yeah.
Nate Wyatt.
Yes, you know Nate Wyatt?
Yeah, well, I know the name. Yes.
Oh my God. No, he is absurdly talented. And just what an incredible environment to be in the studio. I'm so lucky. I can't wait to go back. I've been writing a lot more, so that's good to hear. But yeah, so much fun. Great.
So this is kind of your debut album, I would say, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So how did you pick and choose? How did you get into a recording situation? I mean, you wrote these songs, and how did you develop your songs from like, I got to find a band, I got to find a recording studio. How'd you do all that?
So a lot of it was just with Nate. I mean, Nate, again, like I cannot speak highly enough of him. Like I just adore him. He's absurdly talented.
Yeah.
He has this very beautiful style of production that's very like delicate and like gorgeous. And because of that, sort of it was like this interplay between the two of us of sort of going back and forth between what is sort of matching the lyrics more because I mean I write lyrics first before I dabble in production. I do enjoy it, but ultimately I'm a writer. And so that's sort of the thing that he and I were working with together. Sort of just this really fun back and forth. Yeah.
I got you. Okay. I tell you what, I want you to tell me a little bit about the first song we're going to talk about. And that one, oh gosh, here we go. You turn 48 and all hell breaks loose. Far From Holy. This song is beautiful. Tell me a little bit about that before we play that song today.
Oh gosh. Far From Holy is, I think I've talked about this a bit with just everyone that I've talked to about the song, but it's really this celebration of a lot of women who I know in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, I have always been really drawn to very powerful women. At least my understanding of what a powerful woman is, like people who just take no crap their entire life, who are just very forceful and just say, like with their whole chest, like, I am here. You do not get to tell me to shut up.
I am a woman. Hear me roar.
Exactly. There we go. And so this is sort of for them, like my really good friends, my mom, you know, and then also on top of that, it's sort of this celebration of just saying like, screw the establishment. Like, let's go do our own thing and just kick it together. And I love it. I
love your attitude. I think more than ever, I see women supporting women. And I think more than ever, women are starting to, for example, the Grammys this year, did you know that it's very women dominated? They said they almost cannot find a man in the Grammys. And I'm not saying men, you know, women versus men. I'm just saying we're finally being celebrated for our worth and in our voice and what, you know, our contribution is. And I love that you have that attitude regarding this. It's beautiful. Yeah. And it's just really wonderful. And then also on top of that, Far From Holy, like this is just a little me thing, but Far From Holy has my favorite drum breakdown towards the very end. There, it's like da 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 da, and oh my gosh, watching that be played live was one of the most crazy experiences of my life. Just because watching Tony was the drummer, play that, and then I remember I stood up like in the studio and I walked over. I went, "Can you do that again? Can you do that again, please?" Just because it was the most. Like, it was just perfect. Oh my gosh, I was so enamored with it. And the first time I heard it was gorgeous. I love it when that comes together. I love that stuff. With that said, everybody, hey, let's take a listen to it so you guys know what we're talking about. Here we go with Far From Holy, written by the one and only Maeve, aka Iris Pope.
My eternal forgotten prophet, wreathed in the dark halo. She tells me my sins are forfeit, to stop craving what I know. She comforts my confessions and takes me away anew. And I begin to question what I thought was true. How can I best summarize what I can't comprehend? She is far from holy, abandoned her wings and learned to run. My personal folly is chasing darkness and the rising sun. 'Cause my baby is the furthest thing from holy that you'll ever know. Rebellion lives in her eyes. She takes the breath from your lips. You will survive, she cries, wipes your tears with her fingers.
And that, you guys, was Far From Holy. I see exactly what you mean about that drum part at the end. I totally love it. If that were me in that situation, I'd be like, nobody talk, stop, do that again. I mean, I know exactly what I would have done.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes there are just moments when you're making music
Yeah.
where oh gosh, I'm gonna sound really woo-woo, but it's like almost like transcending. Like it's
Yeah.
just so incredible that you even get to witness it and
Yeah.
be there. And oh, it's just so affirming that like this is a good choice. This is like what I love.
So what I want to say about your lyrics is they're pretty deep. I mean, they obviously really tell a story, and they come from well, that's the question I want to ask. Where do they come from, and what is your writing process? I know you say they all the songs start lyrically first. Tell me about where you come up with your ideas, or what triggers your like the hook of the line or whatever.
Yeah, so it's interesting because I come from a place of originally before I was even writing songs, I was writing poetry.
Oh.
And so I think that is why I mean, honestly, I have a problem with writing where I'm like, listen, I can just write a draft, have the draft be something you don't care about, but it's something that you're working on. And I can't do it because I just care so much about like the craft of it. I'm like, if every line isn't knocking it out of the park, then I don't want it, which is bad for me. I recognize that it's my perfectionism.
Type A.
Yeah, okay.
Busted.
You got me.
Okay, go on.
Is it too much to want a perfect first draft?
No, it's not. It's not. I love it.
Yeah, so I guess it's just the things I see in the world. It's a lot of observation, I think. Sometimes a certain line, like a friend said to me the other day, something along the lines of like, winning is not when you forgot, but when you don't think about it every day in terms of like negative relationships. And that just immediately,
wow,
I'm writing a song.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It's a combination of the mundane and the profound, I suppose. Just because there's so much to love in the world. The beauty can be found everywhere. It's just a matter of bringing the magnifying glass to it and looking at it and saying, this is what I want to talk about. This is beautiful. And I think that does really carry here. It's about a specific person, and it's about loving that person to destruction to a degree. And
very insightful. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so I think that's sort of where it came from. Feelings are also like just a certain feeling and then a story that comes from that feeling. Stories are, yeah.
I was going to say, Taylor Swift had all that crap happen with Scooter Braun or whatever, and then she decided to re-record those tracks. And, I heard somebody ask her one time, how was it to go back to what you were feeling the first time you wrote them? So I was wondering, when you hear your music playing back, does it take you back to where you were in that moment or that feeling?
Oh, yeah.
It does me too. I can remember exactly where or when I wrote that or what I was feeling at the time. So I was just curious about that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's funny because I think I talked about this a lot, just like with my friends and stuff, that the person who made that music doesn't exist anymore. At least not really in a way that I've just changed so much since I was 19.
Yeah.
And
wow.
And I listen to that and it's someone else in some capacity. But I mean, for me, it's sort of this exercise in just like loving that past version of myself that was going through so much and hurting so deeply, and was just using the music as a way of excising just a lot of poison.
I just had my aha moment because when you said that, I was thinking, I can see what you mean by looking at it like from a third party. When you look at something, that's a song, that's a beautiful song, but you don't say that's me. You just say that was that chapter of that song. Wow, I never really communicated to myself about music that way. Thank you. Oprah. But yes, that's brilliant. Wow.
Gosh, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love that person, I mean, it was someone who needed a lot of love, and I think I'm in a place where I can finally look back and say, I love the Maeve that made that music 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
You know? And
Yeah.
that's a comforting thing to be able to say.
You know, it's impressive with the library that I got to hear, which is, I mean, I found you, obviously, you gave me a preview to some things that hadn't been released prior to
Yes.
us visiting, so I never shared those. But now that they're, you know, on the internet, I listened to the entirety of your collection, one after the other, and I will tell you, whether they were, you know, written back then or now, it still holds the same quality of lyrical storytelling from day one to now. I mean, I want you to know, like, the quality is still like it. I know you've grown since then as far as your, you know, your writing process and stuff, but from day one you were a gifted lyricist, and it's translated into beautiful artist. So congratulations.
Oh gosh. You're making me tear up.
Well, you know what? You
Please.
deserve it. You deserve people to back you up. You know, when you're an artist and you work so hard, and people see the tip of the iceberg, not what's underneath the water. And I do know the work that goes into it. So congratulations. I'm
you.
excited for you.
Oh,
Okay.
goodness.
Enough of the sappy shit, people. Here we go. Here we go. So let's talk about Back Today. Tell me a little bit about that song and where you, maybe if you want to share where you were at when you kind of wrote that one.
Yeah, so this one actually is a bit funny to me because I was having horrible bouts of insomnia. Like horrible bouts of
Melatonin,
insomnia.
girl.
No, I was on melatonin. I was taking NyQuil. Like I was doing everything in my power to knock myself out, and I just could not. So I was like, all right. I think I was up at like 5 a.m. in the morning. Obviously in the morning it's a.m. And just thinking to myself, like, well, you know what? I can't sleep. I might as well write.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the visuals in the lyrics come from things I was seeing. If I'm not hallucinations, I was
You're
literally
right.
seeing like the sun coming over the mountain and just
So it
all
wasn't
these-
like Bruce Willis. I see dead people. No. Okay, great.
No. It was just a lot of like these really beautiful visuals, and I was thinking, well, you know, if I can't sleep,
Yeah.
I might as well just immortalize this moment.
Mhm.
Much to the chagrin of my little brother, who was asleep in the bed next to me.
Oh.
And so I was just like, well, you chose to sleep in the same bedroom as an artist, so there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's just sort of about wanting to go back to a time where you felt comfortable, basically, like back to a time where you felt safe in your experience.
Yeah.
Is sort of the way I interpret it.
Well, let's show the people. Back to Today. Again, Maeve, Iris Pope, whichever one you want to go by. I believe your artist name is Iris Pope, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, great. So here we are, Iris Pope, original called Back to Today. We'll be right back with you.
The sun's back over the ridge today, filling the clouds with stagnant rays. Let go of rain and fall away. Dream back over the ridge today, dancing alone in the Mayday. I wish I could go back to today. 'Cause today is yesterday already, and I wish it wouldn't go. Today is yesterday already. The birds are still singing, little smudges in the night skies. The birds are still warbling today, and the trees
that was far from today, you guys. I told you you wouldn't be disappointed. You know, let's call you out on something else. Before you really started out on this music endeavor, I did some research, and you used to be a mogul skier on the slope.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that on the outside, and what you're fantabulous at.
Oh gosh, I was fantastic. I had an injury that took me out. But I mean, it's a bit of a funny story in and of itself. I know it's bad to say like I had an injury.
Let's hear the story. So they know who you are outside of music.
So I was competing at my home mountain. And for those who don't know, mogul skiing, you're sort of going between different bumps of snow. It's a weird sport. Yeah, very, very odd, but I loved it. And I went over a jump because you do 2 jumps.
Yeah.
Went over a jump, did a trick, landed horribly on my knee.
Oh no.
And then I was like, well, I have to keep going. I'm competing. Got to the end of it, and they're like, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm okay. Fall over.
Oh no.
I'm taken down the mountain. And they were like, well, please don't do that again. And I was like, a bit hard. I do compete at this. And they're like, well, might want to consider otherwise. I mean, honestly, though, it's a thing that I look back and I'm still so thankful I did. And I loved it. I really did love it. And it was really like a wonderful thing to be competing in, and super, super fun. And I mean, it gave me a head for competition, which I think I'm glad for.
I think I can almost real quick one up you on that. Now, yes. I'm 48, so let's go back at, before the dinosaurs were born. So I went, I don't know, to some church thing back when I was in 7th grade, maybe 8th grade. Mm-hmm. And I never knew how to ski, but all the cool kids did. So I didn't take the little lessons. And I'm on not even a mountain. I'm on the Bunny Hill at Mankato, Minnesota. And my mom was so mad I didn't go take the lessons. So I'm going down the Bunny Hill, and it was a little icy that day. So I start going, and everybody's going, snowplow, snowplow. Well, I didn't know that meant to stop. But this kid wiped out in front of me. And so I ran like boom, right over him. And I went up in the air, and I landed on my stomach, and the tip of my ski went in, and it was like a slow motion. It was wavering, and all of a sudden went crack. And I was on crutches for 9 months after that. The kid went to the hospital with like a broken arm. I trashed the Bunny Hill. I can't go skiing again. Just sharing with you, like one to another. I think that's why I thought music will be less painful. Okay. All right. So a little side note there. All right. So you've also got this last song we're going to talk about today. Are you going to put videos out? Are you going to eventually get into doing videos, or how do you feel about that whole scene?
I mean, I would love to. One of my best friends from college is a videographer, makes a lot of really beautiful videos and stuff. So I've always been like, hey, like there's actually a song of mine that's still unreleased, but that hopefully is going to come out soonish. That I'm like, this would be a great one to make a video for, because it's even more narratively driven than most of my music, I would say. I mean, I would love to. It's just a matter of opportunity and time, right?
Okay. Well, you know what? Step 1, you got the lyrics and the music really well covered. So just start expanding your horizon, and I know you'll do. I have no doubt about you. You're my little prodigy over here. That just a diamond in the needle in the haystack. All right, Maeve, Miss Iris Pope. Why don't you tell me a little bit about 7 a.m.?
Okay. 7 a.m. This is an interesting one. 7 a.m. weirdly enough was not written at 7 a.m. It was written entirely, I think, at like 12. I'm a night owl. It was sort of just about wanting to get the heck out of there. I mean, that's basically the way I'm thinking about it. It's desperately wanting something. I mean, I'm just about to quote the song, wanting more than what you have.
Yeah.
It's about just reaching for something that you've only been hoping for and that you don't even know if you can get. But I mean, you might as well keep going. You got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
For connection. It's also a cry for connection, basically. Well, just desperately trying to find someone who understands you and is willing to be who they are while you get to be who you are.
Oh,
Yeah, no
isn't that
masks.
so important? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who
Oh
wants to
gosh,
live
yeah.
a life of fake? You want to, you know, right? You want to be who you are. And it sounds like it was just perfect for the pandemic writing, session. So
Oh yeah, no kidding.
good
Yeah,
stuff.
it's funny. Actually, I've recently this is a thing I've recently realized. I mean, I feel like everyone realizes this at some point, but that people really will like you if you genuinely are just who you are.
You know what? You're right. Don't try to emulate anybody else because they've seen it already.
Exactly.
I can see you. I can see not just, I can't, I mean, I'm not just looking at you. I can see you. And I
Mhm.
think that you're a great individual. I really do. I think you've got a lot of potential here. Boy, I'm just blowing smoke up your butt. You're going to be like, what do I do now? But all
I
of it
know.
is meant honestly. This is an honest, and people know me. I do speak the truth. So, all right, let's go ahead and take a listen to 7 a.m. And when we come back, we're just going to do some finishing thoughts on about where people can find your music and maybe what's next in your plans. So here we go, you guys, with 7 a.m.
It's 7 a.m. Wake up quickly, get out of bed, and I look out the window to see the sun glow. And I thought I would feel something, but here I'm stuck with nothing. You know I used to run and play in the rain. Used to reach for the source of cascading champagne. My life changes, people do too. Never thought the one who changed would be you. I want something more than what I have. I wanna break the floor and escape who I am. I used to sit around and wait to see you smile. I forgot who I used to be. I forgot how good the rain felt to see. I suppose I always knew you'd leave me. I was the one who gave up so easily, but
was 7 a.m. 3 songs. I wish we had more time to promote all the songs that I've listened to of yours. Good stuff. Kind of makes me wonder what the hell I was doing for 10 years.
Oh goodness, no! Don't say that.
No. I'm saying it for fun and in jest, but no, good. It's very good quality. The quality of your recordings. It's not just your home recording studio, that you can access. Anybody can access. It's going back to Nate Wyatt. I mean, his production quality and how he makes your voice sounds is right on. So very well. You have to tell him to get a hold of me with his band. What is it?
Oceanic.
What? Oceanic. Yeah, couldn't remember. And I'd love to get him on too. But why don't you tell the people where they can find you? And I know I found you on YouTube, but you let everybody else know.
Yeah, I am. All my music is on basically every single music, every music outlet. Spotify, Apple Music. I'm on Instagram at I'm Iris Pope Official. I think it's the same on TikTok.
Okay.
But free to listen wherever you listen to music.
All right. And what are your upcoming plans? What are you looking forward to doing in the next, let's say the next 6 months?
Just a lot of performing.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Okay. Can we find if you have a schedule, we can find those on those platforms?
Oh gosh, that's still a work in progress. Websites are still a work in progress, but yeah, mostly in the Boston area. But crazier things have happened than someone blowing up overnight. Who knows? God willing.
We'll try and make it happen.
Exactly. Just more writing as well. Actually, I'm really looking forward to getting back into writing because I was working on my dissertation for so long and that took every ounce of my brain space. Yeah, 10,000 words of anthropology and super fun, but oh goodness, yeah, I
God bless you, honey. Well, good for you. Multi talented, intelligent Maeve, artistry name Iris Pope. I want to thank you so much for being on my podcast. I don't know how you found me. Do you I know is it your manager or publicist that contacted me? Okay. Yes. Well, tell her she's amazing. We've kept in touch. We've had a couple months. We've had to kind of reschedule and such, but I'm so glad we finally connected. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, because we are in the month of December. 2024 is going to bring good things for you. Yay! All right, everybody. Thank you again for joining yours truly, Heather Kelly with the Indie Music Room. Happy New Year and be safe. Be safe. We will see you in 2024.
You've been listening to the Indie Music Room with Heather Kelly. Be sure to listen every Saturday and Sunday right here on FortDodgeRadio.com and subscribe for all our past and upcoming shows. The Indie Music Room is a production of FortDodgeRadio.com.